Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome again on for this continuation discussion on this Gita Gyan program. Today I'm so excited to discuss on this chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, and this is going to be a very interesting chapter. We'll be discussing so many things, especially. And other than that, so today the date is September 9th, 2024, Monday. So before we start, is there any reflection, anything you'd like to share from what you have experienced on since Saturday class? Any reflection?
Yes, I have something to say,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
You have what?
I
You got nothing to say?
I have something to say,
Oh, you
Prabhuji.
got something to say. Okay.
Actually,
Yes.
Prabhuji, the Saturday I couldn't join, right? I just finished your the link. I just viewed, finished, just only. It was very beautiful, Prabhuji. Hello.
Just give me a second. Just give me a second.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay.
So sorry, Mataji. I got distracted. Say again, Mataji. What are you saying?
Actually, Prabhuji, I just finished the link. I just viewed the link. As you said, we need to promise to, because I couldn't attend on the Saturday, right?
Okay.
So I just finished and I find it so beautiful the way you said about the equality, don't see faults and then see potential of the devotees.
Okay.
I find it so good actually, and I find it that many people love to go with the caste system.
Caste
The
system.
caste,
Okay.
so this Prabhupada actually went to the hippie place and he was telling the
Hmm.
story and all. It was like realization whereby Guruji can actually teach the student to understand. If without Guru, we are nothing. So we still need some Guruji to guide us to this Bhagavad Gita. It was something that uh, self-realization right now lah. I'm getting it. Earlier I thought, oh, we just read, we can know, self-study, we can understand. No, actually no. Without the Guruji, we actually cannot understand this into the deep. So I really feel good, and I really don't want to miss the class. I really
Hmm.
want to follow until the end. It's very beautiful.
Very
For
nice.
me, I
Very.
really feel blessed that I'm in this class today.
I'm very blessed to have you also. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much.
Prabhuji. Thank you,
Thank you so
Prabhuji.
much. I appreciate that at least no, I know that someone is listening to the class to the end, because that's the effort that we are putting in, so that end of the day, our goal in life is to that every one of you will start to appreciate Bhagavad Gita and take Bhagavad Gita as your lifestyle. So it will refute many ideology, especially like people think that Sanatan Dharma, a caste system, and we are very nasty system, and we worship so many gods. So that's why the idea is actually we want all the adults especially to learn this and understand this, so that you can go and teach the younger generation. It is no more like a lullaby or grandmother fairy tale. Why we do this? Because don't ask question, this is how the tradition. It is nothing like tradition, right? It is more like a mental concoction and also speculation. Okay. So when you understand Bhagavad Gita, I think this Bhagavad Gita is more ancient than any of our belief system. We might have a belief system, we might have some sort of uh, culture. That's a saying, a lie. The first generation is a lie. Second generation becomes a custom. Third generation, it becomes what? Third generation, it becomes no. Third generation, it becomes culture, and the fourth generation onwards, it becomes like a religious, right? Example, there's a story about, a cat is very inauspicious. Whenever there's a wedding time and the cat comes, it's very inauspicious. So there was one wedding, and suddenly they realized the cat entered, and immediately the mother-in-law, that lady, the son's mother, took the cat and hold it at the side and says, in our tradition, we keep the cat before we get married. So, I mean, the girl's mother. Then, when the girl grew up, I mean, after the girl had a child, and when her child going to get married, you know what he did? Oh, this is I learned from my mother that you must have a cat before you tie that tali or mangal sutra, right? So then it became a custom. Then after that, the second generation, that means that lady's daughter and the granddaughter's daughter's marriage, the same thing happened. Oh, in our family tradition, all right, we keep a cat before we get married. So they said, oh, there's no cat, so I cannot tie the tali, you know. So immediately they went and looked for the cat and brought the cat and come in front and they hold the cat. Oh, the cat must be there before you tie the tali because it's our thing. So the tradition became custom. Then after 4-5 generation, it turns into religion. Right? It become, oh, it's one of the religious practice. Why? Don't ask. That's what my great grandmother did. In our tradition, we do like this. So that means, but we understand that Bhagavad Gita is even older than any of our belief system. Bhagavad Gita is older than any of our tradition or whatever it is, because it's spoken 5,000 plus years ago, right? So that's the thing. Very nice. What they call Serena Kaur Mataji. I really appreciate your comment. Anyone else like to? I think Rajina Mataji, I saw you unmuting. You want to say something?
No, Prabhu, my phone giving problem.
Okay. All right. Kiran Suri, welcome. Anyone else want to say something before we start? Any sharing, any
Prabhu,
realization?
like you said, 5,000 years.
Hmm.
But it's like so amazing because it's still so beautiful and so
Exactly.
surreal, and we can relate to our life now.
Definitely. Because it's spoken by God. If it's spoken by human being, after 100, 200 years itself, everything will disappear. All right. Human make mistake, but God don't. All right. What is that? We will study as we go on. All right. The 4 defects of human being. Okay. We will study as we go on in our following chapter. So any last one? Anyone want to say something? I'm giving you opportunity for you to express yourself. That's when I will know where I'm standing so that I can adjust and run the class accordingly. Anyone? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. At least someone spoke today. I really appreciate that. Sometimes I'll be wondering, hey, how come nobody says something? Because in my batch 1 class, I got a person who got a lot of things to tell. Right? So suddenly this class became like so silent. I was like, worries me. Anyway, I appreciate that. All right. So before we start, as usual, let's do our invocation prayer. We show our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada and all these Vaishnava Acharyas who have dedicated their life in create this opportunity for us to study this Bhagavad Gita as it is in a proper manner. Okay. Let's offer our gratitude. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamlam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagarjadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Paditanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavebhayo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Om Tat Sat Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Srimati Jayapataka Swamiti Namani Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gaurakada Damadaya Nagaragara Tarini Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasachari Starini Nara Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Okay. So today we're going to continue on our discussion on chapter 6. The chapter 6 is called as Dhyana Yoga. Hey, chapter 4 pula. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. This is chapter 4. Okay. You don't see the slide?
It right here, level 2, Prabhu.
Yeah. So today we are here. Sorry, actually it's supposed to be chapter 6. Right. I've forgot to edit this thing. Okay. So today, chapter 6, we're going to discuss on, okay. So today we dedicate our program to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. By His mercy, we are able to sit here and study this Bhagavad Gita and to discuss in a very sweet way, as how Sri Ram was telling. It's very sweet. It's all because of the way that he translated into English, that flavors the Kali Yuga taste. And of course, this program is inspired by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, and also dedicate this program to His Grace Anadi Jagannath Prabhu of Bengaluru ISKCON Sheshadipuram, my very dear God brother. He is a creator and brainchild of the Essence of Gita Gyan program worldwide. And somehow today we are very happy. The program has already gone into Myanmar, and it's now going to go into Tobago, Trinidad, Tobago. So I hope that soon in the future, this program will go to every country in the world and will be translated into many languages, right? So I've been also trying to look for Chinese. So far, in Malaysia, there was a group they did in the language of Tamil, Telugu. So Tamil and Telugu, but soon I hope that it can go into all the languages like Malayalam and what they call Chinese and all varieties of language, right? Because this program really works. And I'd like to thank you for all your support for being here. Okay, let's look at today's Gita Mahatmya, or the glories of Bhagavad Gita. Sarvo Panishado Gavo Dogda Gopala Nandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gita Mritam Mahat. So, what here it says, Adi Shankara is saying very nicely. Adi Shankara is none other than the incarnation of Lord Shiva. He said, all the Upanishads are like a cow. I mean, there are many Upanishads, 108 Upanishads, right? And one of the Upanishad is Gita Upanishad. Bhagavad Gita is also known as Gita Upanishad. And another Upanishad that we follow is Sri Isha Upanishad that we follow. So that's why I was thinking of creating a Isha Upanishad slides. So once I'm done, one day we also can do that program, right? Sri Isha Upanishad. Okay, anyway, so all the Upanishads are like a cow, and the milk of the cow is Lord Krishna. That means he's milking all the Upanishad. Okay, he's the milker. And Arjuna is the calf. Arjuna is the calf. See, the cow will only give milk when it sees the calf. The cow doesn't give milk just like that. It has to see the calf, and out of love, the milk will start to flow. All right. So Arjuna is the calf, and the beautiful nectar of Gita is the milk. So the milk is the beautiful nectar of Gita. That means, in other words, it's a summary, it's the essence of all Upanishad. Okay, Upanishad is a cow, and Krishna is milking out the essence of that Upanishad. And the fortunate devotees of the fine theistic intellect are the drinker and enjoyer of the milk. So that means a person like you and me are the most fortunate one, are the one who drinks and enjoys that milk. All right. So that's very auspicious, especially. All right. So that's why, as what Sri Ram was telling, is so sweet. Of course, it's very, very, very sweet. Now it's only chapter 5 we have finished. Now we're going to chapter 6, and there's some more 12 more chapters to go. You won't believe it, the amount of excitement that it's going to create in you. Let's look at this understanding of Gita. This understanding of Gita, as I said that day, is the introduction part of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So Lord Krishna descends specifically to re-establish the real purpose. Why he came? To re-establish. What is re-establish means? Once it was established, but it was gone. So he came back to re-establish the real purpose of life. Right? The real purpose of life. What is the real purpose of life? When man forgets that purpose. Right? We have all forgotten what is our real purpose. Okay. Even then, out of many, many human beings who awaken. Now, this is something very important. I want to really look at it. Right? It says, out of many, many human beings who are awakened. That means there are so many human beings who are awakened. Okay, there's in many religion and everything, there's awakened. They've awakened. There may be one who actually enters the spirit of understanding his position. So that means, in other words, what Prabhupada is saying here, even though there is so many people who are awakened, right, it's not necessary these people they understand the position. I give you one very good example. Yesterday night, we went to this one place, which is quite famous in Ipoh, where they sells that vegetarian karimi. It's
very
really
delicious, Prabhu.
Huh?
It's very delicious, Prabhu.
You been there before?
No, but I can feel it in my tongue now when you say.
Okay. So we went to that place. It is at a hawker stall. Right? That's the only place we can get a really good one, which is really no onion, no garlic, and there's no even egg, nothing. It's very clean. We went there, and suddenly I saw a monk. I don't know from which division, but he's an Indian guy, Indian Hindu monk, who dressed in a full saffron. He came with a group of people, the family members. All right, they all came. I don't know whether it's family members or his group or his followers or what. He came and sat. He went straight to that vegetarian karimi. He started to order what he wants. After he ordered, beside that hawker, there's another part of that. It is a place where they sell that seafood. I saw that all his followers, some of his followers, he got up and went to that seafood area and start ordering some seafood. I don't know what they ordered. And I was shocked to see that situation. He, as a monk, all right, I don't know whether sannyasi or brahmachari, but it looks like all means should be sannyasi. He came with his followers. He ate that karimi, but his followers or whatever disciple or whatever, they went to that site and ordered that what they call the seafood. Okay, and they went to other side. They ordered and something roti chana with egg. What I'm trying to tell you here is, it is not to say that all that people who are spiritual are awakened. All right. Those who are awakened is not necessarily the one who actually enters into the spirit of understanding his position. They just know, okay, I'm not this body, and they start to do this kind of some spiritual path, but they do not practice. All right. So that's what Prabhupada says, there may be one who actually enters into the spirit of understanding his position. So it's very rare. And for these kind of people, this Bhagavad Gita was spoken. Actually, now Prabhupada, look at it. Actually, see the word is actually, we are all swallowed. We are all swallowed actually. By who? By the tigress. Tigress of nations. What is nations means? Nations means ignorance. So now the question is, why did Prabhupada use the word tigress, the feminine form of a tiger? Why not tiger? Why not lion? Why he used the word tigress? Because we are under the spell of Maya. The Maya is actually tigress. The Maya is actually the illusion, the external potency of the Lord. Okay, the illusion. We are all swallowed by it. Because even though that whatever things that are happening in front of us, it looks so real. And we start to believe that actually we are that. Despite having lots of trouble, lots of problem, and yet people are still get entangled, and they still believe that actually they are okay. Nothing will happen to them. Right? So they are an illusion. So, but the Lord is very merciful, merciful upon living entities, especially human beings. To this end, he spoke Bhagavad Gita, making his friend Arjuna his student. So, for that is the reason that why Bhagavad Gita was actually spoken. Being an associate of Lord Krishna, Arjuna was above all ignorance. He's above. But Arjuna was put into ignorance. He purposely was kept into ignorance on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, so that he just to question Lord Krishna. He wants Arjuna to question Lord Krishna about the problems of life, so that Lord could explain them for the benefit of future generation of human beings. Okay. So all the questions Arjuna is asking, actually is asking for our behalf. You know, he is asking for our behalf. Then, so that what will happen? Therefore, a person can chalk out. That means he can make a plan of life. He can chalk out. That means he can create a plan for life. Then man could act accordingly and perfect the mission of human life. So the person can perfect the mission of human life. So Bhagavad Gita is actually the book which teaches you how to perfect yourself. If you look at other religious contents, he says that human are not perfect. Human can never be perfect. But here Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Prabhupada is saying, if you listen to the perfect source, you can become perfect. So Krishna is perfect. So when we hear and act accordingly and listen to his instruction, we act accordingly, we can become perfect. All right. So that we can perfect the mission of human life. So what we understand from here in Bhagavad Gita, basically, we're going to study about how to perfect our human life. So let's go into chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga. Let's recap from chapter 5, text 27-28. Sparshan kritva bahir chaksus chaivantare bruvo pranapanau samokritva nasa byantaro charinau yatindriyo mano buddhir munir moksha parayana vigatecha bayo krodha ya sada mukta evasa. Shutting all external sense object, keeping the eyes and vision concentrated between two eyebrows, suspending the inward and outward breath within the nostril, and thus controlling the mind, sense, and intelligence, the transcendentalists aim at liberation, becomes free from desire, fear, and anger. One who always in this state is certainly liberated. So in chapters 5, text 27-28, what Krishna says, how to do dhyana, how to do meditation, how? Shutting out all external sense object, all the things. That means you have to go into a very remote area. So you're shutting down all the sense objects, and then keeping the eyes and vision concentrated. Eyes and vision concentrated between the two eyebrows. Try to put your eyes between the two eyebrows. Try and see. How long can you hold that way? You have to hold like this, all right? Then suspending the inward and outward breath. You breathe in, stop. Then you breathe out, stop. Then you breathe in, stop. Breathe out, stop. Then after that, stop breathing. So you suspend the air in between, all right? Outward breath within the nostril, and thus concentrating the mind. Okay, and then controlling the mind, senses, and intelligence. The transcendentalists aiming at liberation becomes free from desire. Right? The person who are looking for a liberation, they become free from desire, free from anger, and free from fear. Free from desire, fear, and anger. One who always in this state is certainly liberated. So let's start with chapter 6. So in 6.3, let's see what Krishna says. Arurukshor munir yogam karma karanam uchyate yoga ruddhasya tasyaiva shama karanam uchyate. For one who is neophyte in the eightfold yoga system. What is neophyte? The beginner. Neophyte means beginner. In the eightfold yoga system is Ashtanga yoga. Ashta means 8. Anga means what they call limbs. All right, Anga. Angangal. In Tamil we call Angangal. All right, Yettangam. So 8 distinct. So eightfold yoga system. Work is said to be means. For them, working is the way to do it. That means to perform that is the way of means. But for those who already elevated in yoga, But what happened to their guru, the person who already elevated in yoga? For them, what they need to do, cessation of all material activity. That means they stop all material activity is said to be the means. That means when we first starting, we have to sit, we have to concentrate, we have to do all this kind of activity. Until you become really good at it, what are you going to do? You stop doing things. You just sit in one place and go into deep meditation. All right, let's look at 5 points, 5, 6. Uddaret atmana atmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhur atmaiva ripur atmanaha bandhur atmanas tasya yenatmaivatmana jita anatmanastu shatrutve vartetatmaiva shatruva. This is very, very important verse. See what Krishna says. One must deliver himself with the help of his mind. We must deliver ourselves with the help of our mind, but not degrade himself. He should not degrade himself. That means when we use the mind in a wrong way, we are actually degrading. Then Krishna says, the mind is the friend of all conditioned soul and his enemy as well. Okay, the mind is a friend to conditioned soul and also his enemy. For him who has conquered the mind is his best friend. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. All right, let's look at these people. Up there, there's 2 photos here. Up there, you see the people, the devotees, are all jumping and humping. This thing, they are making the mind to work for them. But for those people who are frustrated, when the mind goes out of control, when the mind becomes greatest enemy, the tendency of suicidal and all kind of nonsense things will start to happen. All right. So with that, I would like to show you. Okay, what can you see? Can you see a whiteboard?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Now, let me show you how the thing I'll try to simplify as simple as I can. All right. First of all, we have this thing called, okay. First of all, okay, I put it brown color. We have, okay, this is called the gross body. Okay, we call this as the a gross body, right? Okay, we call this as a gross body. Okay, we call this as a gross body. This gross body this is called the gross body. So what the gross body has, it has 5 senses, right? It has a sense of, say, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it has 5 senses. What are the senses? All right, the sense of smell, taste, touch, the sense of hearing, then
Eyesight. They can see.
sight. Yes, as sight. All right. So they have these 5 senses: smell, taste, touch, hear, and sight. They have these 5 senses. Are you all following me on this?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Now what happened? Inside there's another body which we call as the, okay, there's another body here. Okay. Okay. What we call this? This we call it as the subtle body. Okay, we have 2 bodies. One is gross, another one is called a subtle body. This subtle body, it has the 3 elements: which we call it as the 1, 2, and 3. Okay. What are those? First is which has a mind, intelligence, and ego.
Ignorance.
What is
Oh, ego.
ego? What is ego means? Ego means misconception, self-identification. That is called the subtle body. All right. And inside the subtle body, there's another body, which we call it as the okay. Inside, there's another thing. All right. We have okay. Inside here, there's another thing, another element, which we call it as the all right. Here is the soul. This is how where we stays as a soul. Okay. What happened? Let's see. Example. Now we are having problem. Okay, we are having so much of problem. So, whatever things that we get, whatever information that we get, it's processed. Okay, it's processed by the mind, intelligence, and ego. Okay, it's processed by this. What they call? It's processed by in this mind, intelligence, and ego. You follow me? Example. All right. Example. Now I ask you, when I get angry, what become angry? What became angry? My brain, my eyes, my hand, my leg. Where? Which element became angry? So the element that became angry, or sometimes you express your, I mean, you are in love, you are frustrated, you know, you are devastated, and all these things. All the thing is happening in this subtle body, which is under the mind, intelligence, and ego. It's all happening in subtle body. So when this thing happen in subtle body, what happened? It sends the signal to this gross body, and the gross body with the element of this 5 element here will start to act or react according to the instruction from the subtle mind, intelligence, and ego. Are you all following me on this so far?
Yes, Prabhu, yes.
Now what happened? Example. Okay, example. What example? Okay, now Sriram.
Yes, Prabhu.
When suddenly someone call you Kling, will you be upset?
Uh, I won't feel anything, Prabhu, but I feel like why you're calling me Kaling.
Doesn't matter. Do you feel upset or not when people call you, hey, Kling? Hey, Kling kya?
A bit lah.
Yes or no?
Yes, a little bit.
Exactly. So any Indian people call Kling will get angry, right? Right. So
Yeah.
what actually that where the anger actually triggered? Where the anger actually triggered? When people call you Kling, so what? Call me Kling. But what happened? See, the word Kling was first captured by the intelligence, by the mind. All right. It first captured by the mind. Then what happened? Okay, let me show you this way. Okay. First captured by the mind, and the mind will send to intelligence to process. Are you following me? First captured by the mind.
Yes, Prabhu.
And the mind will send the information to the intelligence to process it. How dare they can call me Kling, this thing. So when the intelligence the intelligence will send the message back to the mind. Yes, what the person call is totally unfair, and this is so derogatory, and you should get angry, you should get frustrated and everything. Okay. So what the mind will do, then later the mind will send back the information to the ego. All right. It gives instruction to the false ego, say that now is the time to react. You know, how dare the flag get angry? So then what the intelligence will do, the intelligence will send the message to all these elements. Right? It start to send all the element to this king. You know, it sends all the elements to all the 5 senses, and now your body will start to react accordingly. Okay. So what happened? You start to what they call, you start to palpitate, then you start to get angry. And what happened? This gross body will start to react. How? By talking back or go fight or punch or whatever. Okay. But where all these emotions starts, it happens in the subtle body. You got it?
Yeah, Prabhu.
Now let's look at this. Say sometimes when person are very frustrated. So that means what we understand here in subtle body, what we have, what we get in subtle body, we still have this element of, all right, in subtle body, we have this thing called pain, pleasure, hunger, taste, right? Pain, pleasure, hunger, taste, then what? Frustration, okay? All the emotion, all come from here. You got it? So this is the thing where all it is located in your subtle body. And your gross body is only reacting. Your gross body is only reacting, okay? Reacting to that subtle body. Okay? Your gross body is only reacting. Now what happened? Suddenly we plan to commit suicide. Suddenly something went wrong. Suddenly I lose my wealth. Suddenly I lose I start to have a bad name. Suddenly I can't take my life anymore. So suddenly the mind will start to say, yes, you can't take the mind. You can't take it anymore. So the mind will tell, yes, life sucks. No point living. All right. And the intelligence start to give information to the mind. Yes, correct. You know, what is the point? For an honorable man, dishonor is worse than death. It rather you die and disappear from this place rather than stay here and suffer the consequences. This and that, and starts back, intelligence will stand to the mind, and the mind will become more bewildered, and the mind will stand in all become clunkabut, and at last the mind will send information to the false side ego, and the ego will start to give instruction, and a person committed suicide. What happened when a person commits suicide? I want you to think about it very seriously. When a man commits suicide, he only kills the gross body. He only kills the gross body. All right? He only kills the gross body. The gross body, who's supposed to be the vehicle, is killed. But you must understand, the gross body is a substance which is not just like a car. All right? The car is not alive. When I get into the car become alive. So I get angry and I just destroy the car. Now what happened? I am still the person, have all that
No
pain.
car,
Okay.
I cannot go anywhere.
So the subtle body is, they have all that pain. In the subtle body, you still have pain, you still have pleasure, you still have hunger, you still have taste, you have frustration, you have emotion. Everything's still there, but you don't have gross body to enjoy. You understand? So what happened? That's when the subtle body becomes so frustrated. And after some time, the subtle body turns into a ghost and start to haunt people. Have you seen anyone who get possessed by ghosts?
I saw
Anyone?
in some movies and I saw
Okay.
face to
What
face
happened? What
actually.
happened when a person becomes possessed? First thing, when the person
They will be like in all emotion. They will have
no.
everything.
Wait. Hold on. No need to go into
Yeah,
that
bro.
detail. When a
Okay.
person becomes possessed, the first thing is the fellow will be very hungry.
Yeah, Prabhu, exactly.
So that means, imagine I cannot stand hunger. I must eat 3 times a day. But now I'm in a body and I've not eaten for years. The pain of hunger, the pangs of hunger is burning me. All right. When I possess into someone, the first thing what they'll do, they'll eat. Have you seen they'll eat with both hands? Pop, 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 You give them big bowl of rice, they can just whack. They eat. And
Yeah, Prabhu, I saw in movies.
after that, they
Correct.
drink that alcohol. They drink everything. Then after that, you ask them to go, they don't go. Then they whack, they whack, and they do all kind of torture. But still, the person doesn't want to leave the body because he doesn't have the body to enjoy. All right. So that is the consequences. But what happened? The biggest mistake in life is to commit suicide, because you are bringing a permanent solution for temporary problem, right? You are bringing a permanent solution for temporary problem. That means you're permanently killing your gross body for something which is so temporary, right? So when a person kills that body and he start to live in the subtle body, and that's when the body suffers. The person suffers so terribly. So what is that punishment for those who commit suicide according to the Vedas? If a person committed suicide, for 7 generations, he will never get a gross body. He'll be floating as a ghost. 7 generations, say a person lives up to 70 years average. So for the next 490 years, you will never get a body. Already in this life, you have already lost your body. Then after that, for the next 7 generations. All right. So this thing. So we must understand. But now we learn from Bhagavad Gita. So we understand all these things. So committing suicide is the most grossest mistake a person can do. You can never justify. A person who commits suicide is the person who have so much of what? They are so brave. To kill themselves, it doesn't take, it's not an ordinary thing. A person must be very, very brave to drink the poison, to shoot them, or to jump from the building, or hang themselves. It takes so much of bravery, right? But where the thing came from, we are all afraid of death. That's why when we are sick, immediately we go and see the doctor. Once we just want to protect our body from decaying and dying. But a person can think about committing suicide. What actually is happening? They are bewildered by the mind. That's why it's what Krishna says. If you can control your mind is your best friend. If you can't control your mind can be your worst enemy. The mind can make you to make a decision that you're going to lose that possibility of getting liberated. And you'll be thrown into a horrible kind of hell after your 7th generation quota over. Right? For the 7th generation, you won't get a gross body. All right? So that's why Bhagavad Gita is very important. So be the person who can go and install Bhagavad Gita in everyone's house. And of course, when we have this kind of session, please encourage them to come and join. Or at least share this video to everyone. Let them know what happened if they commit suicide. Right? Of course, we have only these 5 senses, then we have 5 working senses, all the other things we will discuss as we go on. But right now, I'm just discussing committing suicide is basically what? Destroying the gross body. But your problem still exists, at least in this body. That's why I used to say, if you dare to die, why not you dare to live? Be very inquisitive. Why are you put into this kind of horrible situation? You are not happy. Why? We must use our intelligence. But sometimes the intelligence is covered by the mind. All right? Before the intelligence could say anything, the mind will be like, hey, Pochi, just come in and just say, hey, no. Just put an end to it. All right? That's the thing. Okay? Any questions so far?
No, Prabhu. Clear.
You understand, huh? Okay,
Yeah,
good.
Prabhu.
So, that's the thing. What happened? Okay. So, what we understand from here is this. That means what we understand, for one must deliver himself with the help of his mind. How are you going to deliver yourself? When you chant Hare Krishna, okay, that's why we are saying, we are coming with this formula, RDC formula. Why we asking you to, what they call, read Bhagavad Gita. When you read Bhagavad Gita, your intelligence is purified. When you chant Hare Krishna, your mind is purified. All right? But intelligence and mind will understand things through experience. And to experience it, that's why I'm telling you to go and distribute Bhagavad Gita. When you give a Bhagavad Gita to someone, they will experience the what they call the excitement. You'll be very well. It's a kind of very what do you call a mysterious way. Example, like we have a person here, Vivan, right? Is it Vivan here? All right, Vivan Manikam. He just told me today, he bought a Bhagavad Gita from me and Srimad Bhagavatam from me. I never knew that. I've forgotten. Right? But today, he have already evolved in his bhakti. And he's very firm in his decision. He's bringing up his family in such a beautiful and nice way. A proper grahastha way of upbringing the family. All right? He's one of my key men that we are running this Bhakti Yoga Center and everything. But I was thinking, but I never knew that I sold him the Bhagavad Gita. All right? So that's what I'm telling you. When you're going to give Bhagavad Gita to someone, the Bhagavad Gita has magic. So reading Bhagavad Gita purifies your intelligence. Okay? It purifies your intelligence. And chanting Hare Krishna purifies your mind. So that is how you can use, that's how you must deliver himself with the help of his mind. You cannot do without this. See, like for instance, your desire for eating meat. Where the desire came from, right? The desire, okay, for instance, we have seen people who have not eaten for days, months. But here we say, if I don't eat for a few days, I'll die. The doctor says, if you don't eat for 10 days, you'll die. You don't drink water for 10 days, you'll die. But how come the people in Somalia, the people who are there, they're living for months and years while drinking a very dirty water once in a while? Are they still human beings? Yes, they are. Right? So that's the thing. The mind, the intelligence says, no, okay, I'm very comfortable. I must drink water at this given time. I must do this, do that. So that's the thing. So we should not degrade ourselves. Don't feed your mind with something which is mundane. Don't feed your mind with something that is not appropriate to improve your bhakti. Right? So that's the thing. Okay. Then that's why, and Krishna says that's how the mind, person who conquered the mind is best friend. So to conquer the mind, people do lots of things. They used to do severe meditation, this and that. So basically, we're going to discuss this as we go on. But for those who fail, his mind will remain his greatest enemy. What is the greatest enemy? It will betray you. The mind will betray you. The mind has been betraying you all this while. For millions and trillions of births that you have taken in this material world. From the time immemorial, from the day one that you fall here, till today, your mind has been betraying you. Now, after we found the truth, the intelligence says, yes, I found the truth. All right? But the mind says, well, okay, you found the truth, but once in a while, okay la, just gonna enjoy la, okay la, once in a while. That's a dangerous thing to do once in a while. Right? So that's the thing.
True,
So
Prabhu. Very true, Prabhu.
yeah. So you have to always keep your mind in control. How? First of all, how you can control a very powerful thing? How are you going to control a very powerful, say, like for instance, you got a stallion, or say you're going to have a tiger as a pet, or you got a wild elephant. How they usually train the wild elephant? Slowly, right? Initially, they let them run, let them do until they become tired. Then they slowly feed some feed, and the flow eat. All right? Every 1 hour at that time, they come and give food. That means he knows already. He'll be running around while, but at exactly 1 p.m., he knows he's eating time. He'll become calm. Slowly, they become friends. Slowly. So slowly, they can go and subdue the entire like animal or like tiger and all this. That's how the trainers are to do that. Even like a wild dog and everything, right? When you send, if you got a Doberman Alsatian, which is so wild, you send to the trainer, that's what they do. First, they give you food according to the time. Then after that, they sayang you slowly, they subdue you. Similarly, that's how we do. We don't straight away go and tell the dog, hey, you dog, better be careful, bam, the floor will bite you. So you don't tell your mind, hey, mind, from now onwards, I want to be a vegetarian. From now onwards, I'm going to stop this. From now onwards, I'm going to do this. It will fail. It will fail you, I'm telling you. It will definitely going to go against you. So what is the first thing? Chant Hare Krishna. That's all. Do I need to follow the rules and regulation? Put it aside. Chant first. Read Bhagavad Gita. So, like some ask, can I read Bhagavad Gita when I'm having period? Yes, you can go. Can I read Bhagavad Gita when I'm not clean? Yes. Can I read Bhagavad Gita when I'm traveling? Or do I need to wrap the book and keep it nicely like Granth? You know, I have to keep it so nicely. You know, I have to keep it in the altar. No, you can carry your Bhagavad Gita wherever you go. That's why I'm telling you, carry your Bhagavad Gita wherever you go. Oh, can I chant Hare Krishna? Yes, you can chant Hare Krishna anywhere. You know, one of the crudest. Am I audible?
Yeah, Prabhu. Yeah, we
Oh,
can
okay,
listen.
okay. All right. So even sometimes, like for instance, I can give you the most ugliest example. If you go to toilet, you cannot come out, Hare Krishna. You can even chant there, right? If the thing gets stuck, Hare Krishna, you can even do that. There's no rules. You can chant everywhere, any means. All right. When you see, when you travel, when you eat, even when you're eating non-vegetarian, put the food into your mouth, a pig or cow, goat, or whatever, you just put in your mouth, you just say Hare Krishna, chew 16 times. You have to chew 16 times. If not, what you're eating is poison. So you put your food inside, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, then you swallow. You know, like once there's one girl from Singapore, she said, "Oh, Prabhu, I'm so addicted to tequila." I say, very simple, very nice. Okay, what should I do, Prabhu? I feel so guilty. Why are you feeling so guilty? Why are you feeling so guilty? No, I'm drinking tequila. I shouldn't do that. I say, yeah, you shouldn't do that, but you're already addicted. What you can do? What is the physician? I say, take the tequila before you drink. Just say Om Sri Vishnu, Om Sri Vishnu, Om Sri Vishnu. Take the tequila. Don't say cheers. Just take it. Om Sri Vishnu, Om Sri Vishnu, Om Sri Vishnu. Boom, you drink. I said, are you joking, Prabhu? I said, no, do it. But when the word I said is stuck in her mind. Whenever she go take a beer or go for tequila shot, she just say Om Sri Vishnu. Oh, why I'm chanting this mantra? Until it became a habit. And in no time.
True, Prabhu. I agree with you.
Yeah, in
True.
no time, she gave up everything. She gave up her habit. She gave up her drinking. She gave up her eating meat. Now she's so good and she's serving in the temple. Now even cooking for Jagannath. Look at that purification happen within 6 months. But you have to be very faithful. Don't simply take it for a ride. Okay, I'm going to take my time. Yeah, you don't have time, my friend. You have to do it fast. But I am telling you a way how you can subdue the mind in a very subtle way. It's already subtle mind. The mind is already subtle, but you go become even more subtle. So chanting and reading Bhagavad Gita, you should not compromise if you think you want to keep your mind under your control. If no, your life is going to be very tough. We will understand that when we come to chapter 18. You will be amazed. Okay. Now let's look at 7. Jitatmana prashantasya paramatma samahita shitoshna sukha dukkeshu tata mana pamanayo. For one who has conquered his mind, Krishna says, the super soul is already reached. Because if not, the rishis are sitting and doing this meditation so severely to achieve the super soul. But Krishna is saying, if only can conquer the mind, the super soul is already reached. For he has attained the tranquility. To such a man, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor are all the same. Because when you are happy, when you are distressed, it's a condition of the mind. Your mind says, I'm very happy. Your condition says, I'm very sad. It's in the mind. The condition says, hey, why they're so hot and why they're so cold? It's in the mind. When people come and honor you or dishonor you, you don't care. It's also in the mind. Who are you to tell me I'm a useless fella? The mind. So, but when you conquer the mind, you do not care for all this. So, in other words, you're not going to be dumb. Someone asks me, oh, if like this means I'll be an ignorant fella, I'll be a dumb. It's just like I'm good for nothing. That means I don't have any emotion. Like a papan, I'm a papan, like a wood, right? It's not that. If those who have controlled the mind, you do not allow the mind to do that, right? That is called the perfect stage, right? So now it's already 6:28. Shall we take 2 minutes break?
Okay, Prabhu.
Right. So we'll take a short break, 2 minutes. Just get up, stretch yourself, have a water, and come back.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Now let's look at this. 11 and 12. Shuchau deshe pratistapya stiram asana atmana natyuchritam nati nicham chailajina kushotaram tatraikagrang mana kritva yata chitendriya kriya upavishyasane yunjat yogam atma vishuddhaye. To practice yoga. Now Krishna explained, if those people who like to practice yoga. So what are the process of yoga that actually we should do it? To practice yoga, one should go to the secluded place. That means you go into the forest, secluded. All right. Then you should lay a kusha grass. Kusha grass na terpapullu. All right. Okay. You must lay a kusha grass on the ground and then cover it with the deer skin. Why they use deer skin? Because when you're in the forest, there's a lot of wild animals like snake and scorpion and all these ants, all this coming in. So when you put a deer skin, it doesn't attract. It will like push them away. They don't come near when there's a deer skin there. That's why they put a deer skin. So once you put a deer skin, then you put a soft cloth on it. The seat should not be neither too high nor too low. It cannot be high, it cannot be low, and should be situated in a sacred place. All right, you have to go to sacred place like Himalayas or this Jarikanda forest or something like that. The yogi should then sit on it very firmly. Sit on it very firmly and practice yoga to purify the heart by controlling his mind, senses, and activities and fixing the mind on one point. All right, so you have to keep the mind in one point. Can you imagine? You have to do this. That's how the real yoga. 13 and 14. Samankaya shiro grivam darayanna chalang stira sampreksha nasika gram swam dishas chana valokayan prashantatma vigata bir brahmachari vrate stita mana sangyamya machitto mukta asita matparaha. So what it says here, one should hold one's body, neck and head erect in a straight line. Let me see if erect, straight, all right? And stare steadily in the tip of the nose. Try and see. Try to stare steadily in the tip of your nose. Both eyes on your nose, tip of the nose, right? Your eyes will start to pain. Okay? Then, thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear. All right? Because you're going to stay in the forest, right? You're alone at night, don't know what's going to come. So, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life. This is very important. There's so many yoga masters out there, or even there's so many yoga gurus who also initiates. They are usually husband and wife and all these things, right? And there'll be a lot of yoga sittar. They call sittar. Come on. Krishna says, if you want to be a yoga master, you want to be a sittar or whatever, you must be devoid from sex life. Brahmachari. Can you see? Vigati bir brahmachari vrate sita. Brahmachari vridam. You have to be a brahmachari. All right. So completely free from sex life. So that means now is the time you check and balance. Whichever person who come and say, as a yoga master, you can do this, or he's a Sadguru, or he has some kind of power, or you're going to teach some kind of yoga, just see whether he's this or not. All right. Then one should meditate upon me within his heart. All right. And make me the ultimate goal of life. Then 16, 15, Krishna says, Yunjan evam sadatmanang yogi niyata manasa shantim nirvana paramang matsangstam adigachati. Thus, practicing constant control of the body, constantly you control the body, mind and activities. The mystic transcendentalist is mind regulated, attain the kingdom of God or abode of Krishna by cessation of material existence. That means those practicing of constant control of the body, mind and activities, the mystic transcendentalists, all right? The mystic transcendentalist, that means they have some kind of mystical power. They can attain the kingdom of God by cessation of material existence. So what happened? Sri Ram, can you do this or not? Go into this, Bukit Larod?
Yeah, Prabhu.
You go to Bukit Larod, you get a very comfortable place, you lay kusha grass, and above you put a deer skin, then you put a cloth, you sit there comfortably, body erect, control your mind, and meditate day and night. You dare or not? Possible or not?
I'm not sure about that, Prabhu, but I wish to live like that in my house alone.
You
Seriously,
can't.
I have that wishes.
Yeah, but when you do
After I
that, suddenly
became
your phone will
financially
ring.
independent.
Yeah, no. See, for instance, you start to get phone call. When you're sitting and meditate, grrr, grrr, ayo, who's calling? Just ignore.
That's the
Grrr,
biggest
grrr.
problem, Prabhu.
And
I really get irritated.
then suddenly your neighbor's dog will start to bark. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Then suddenly opposite neighbor will start fighting. Husband and wife start fighting, quarreling, right? Suddenly suddenly, this guy, this, what they call, these guys are crazy guys. That the guy who sent that parcel, or this, parcel, they don't come to your house and ring your bell. They beep, 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 beep. People wondering who the hell.
Prabhu, yeah, Prabhu, they
Ah.
always do that.
So that means you are sitting in medicine. Beep, 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 beep. How la? Cannot. But in order to go back to kingdom of God, Krishna is saying that you must have a constant control of the body. So how are we going to control the body is by dedicating to service of Krishna, and mind by chanting Hare Krishna, and activities by performing Bhakti Yoga. If you do that, you can achieve that. Of course, we study that in the following, in
Chapter 5.
chapter 8, chapter 9 on Bhakti Yoga.
Oh,
right?
we will study.
All right. So let's look at 16 and 17. Natya Natyashnattastu yogasti na chaikantam anashnata na chati swapnashilasya jagrato naiva charjuna yuktahara viharasya yukta chetasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. So now Krishna is telling, Natyas nattastu. Na means no, can't. Asnatastu yoga. There is no possibility of one becoming a yogi. Oh Arjuna, if one eats too much or eats too little. Check yourself. Are we eating too much or eating too little? Sleeps too much or does not sleep enough? He who is regulated in his habit of eating, he who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work can mitigate all material pain by practicing yoga system. So what does it mean by eating too much? You must eat when the sun is exactly in the middle of the thing. That means at 12 o'clock, 12 noon, the digesting power in our stomach called vricha. There's a kind of digesting fire. When you should eat exactly at 12 noon, when the sun is exactly, when you eat that time, the food will digest. What happens if you come back and eat around 2 or 3 o'clock? You feel dull. Right? You should not eat after the sunset. Okay? After the sunset, one should not eat because the food will never digest. One should go to bed at 9 p.m. When in temple hall, they close at 9 o'clock, right? That's the time that you also should go to bed. If you sleep 9 to 12, 10, 11, 12, the 3 hours sleep is equivalent to 8 hours good sleep. Right? Then you wake up at 3 o'clock. So that means 9 to 12 is considered 8 hours sleep. Then 9, 10, 12, 1, 2, 3 is a bonus. So consider you have taken 9 hours of sleep. Okay. So 3 to 6 is 6 hours plus 3, 9 hours. So if you sleep at 9 o'clock, you wake up at 3 o'clock, it's considered that you have taken a very good sleep. In fact, now the science also says that after 9, the body will start to go into detox. At 12 midnight, the detoxification is very high until 3 o'clock in the morning. If you wake up 3 o'clock in the morning, you know what will happen? You burn your calorie even faster. All right? You live longer. You'll be very healthy. All right? So that's the thing. Those days, like my grandfather, I believe all your grandfather, they wake up. They by 7, 8 o'clock, they go to bed. 8, 9 o'clock, they go to bed. They wake up at 3 o'clock. That's why they lived a long life. 80, 90, 100. But nowadays, after they close the curtain, that's when we go for supper. Go to mama, nasi kanda, finish. Right? Then, before we go to bed, we'll take coffee, tea, and Milo, and whatever it is. How? Cannot. So this is the thing. So how are we going to control it? That is the thing. So eat too much, eat too little. All right? And sleep. And sleep is the most important. If you can only regulate the sleep, try and see. After the course over, after the 18 days, try to go to bed by 9 o'clock. Right? 9, 10, 11, 12. Try to go, try to sleep the 3 hours and try to wake up at 3 a.m. You start to see how your body and your mind will be transformed. All right? You'll be a very successful person in your education, in your career, in a lot of things. Right? So that's the thing. Okay? So, Yuga Dharma. So what is that Yuga Dharma? First, all this kind of practice of this kind of mystical yoga is only possible in Satya Yuga. Because in Satya Yuga, people live up to 100,000 years. Their lifespan is 100,000. No? They had a long duration of life. Okay. Then came Treta Yuga, the second, what they call, Yuga. So in Treta Yuga, the lifespan have reduced. They became 10,000 years. So they couldn't do this kind of meditation. So what they do? They do this kind of big fire sacrifice. They do the fire. You see that Lord Vishnu comes with Garuda. He'll come and take the soul to go back home, back to Godhead. Then came Dwapara Yuga. Dwapara Yuga, people live up to 1,000 years old. Right? The Yuga before us is Dwapara Yuga. And in this Dwapara Yuga, you see that what they call in this Dwapara Yuga, people live up to 1,000 years, and the way they achieve perfection is by doing this temple worship. So that means in Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, in these three yugas, you need to have qualification. You need to be qualified. You need to undergo some kind of education. There's a Vedic studies. All the, if you want to meditate, you must know the sastras. Then you want to do fire sacrifice, you must be a Brahmin by initiated, and you must be able to this kind of mystical fire sacrifice. They don't put fire, they just chant, only the fire will come out, right? And in Dwapara Yuga, when you want to do temple worship, you have to be qualified. But in Kali Yuga, what happened? Our lifespan has reduced to only 100 years. We only have 100 years to live. That also, to live up to 60, 70 is considered a bonus nowadays, right? So in Kali Yuga, we can't do any of this. We can't do this kind of meditation. We can't do big fire sacrifice because we don't have the ingredients. And also we can't do big temple worship. We cannot keep the deity in the house because there are a lot of rules and regulation. So in Kali Yuga, since your time is very short, the only way that you can achieve the thing, what you can achieve in Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, is simply by congregation chanting of this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's a sublime method. And Lord Krishna himself came in the form of a devotee. He showed this and went. Okay. Now, so when you see, we have, this is the 4th quarter of our life. First quarter, we were child, right? Then we were in the youth. Then we are in the old age and in the sleep. So our time has already gone in childhood. Childhood will be having fun and all these things. No, we can't practice yoga. In the youth, you are the prime of the youth, you'll be very excited. All right, you'll be going and doing adventure and all this, so you have no time. And once you become old, it is not possible to practice yoga. All right. And of course, there's a sleep. So these 4 factors actually take a big portion of our life. All right. Just like this, the duration of life. Like Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, it says in Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 7, Canto 7, chapter 6, text 7. Right? We waste our life 30 years sleeping. Right? Boyhood, 10 years gone. Childhood, 10 years gone. Old age, 20 years gone. The 30 years that we have, what are we doing? Okay. Okay. Now, you look at this. I need a volunteer. Anyone?
Me, Prabhu.
Okay, good. If you're given a chance, how long do you like to live?
If given a chance, Prabhu.
Yeah.
70 years would be enough, Prabhu.
Sri Ram.
I
Sri
don't
Ram,
want
you
more
want
than
to
that.
you live up to
70 years old.
70 years. All right, you want to live up to 70 years. Okay. 70 years means 70 years means, okay, let me see. Let me take the calculator. 70 times. All right. So that means total years that you want to live is 25,550 years. 50 days. You got it?
Okay, Prabhu.
So that means you want to live up to 70 years means your time span is 25,550 days. Your age now?
I am 21, Prabhu.
Okay.
Now only I started to chant Hare Krishna. Before that, I chanted, but my other deities and all that. So
Okay. Am I?
now
Your age
I'm
now is
into Krishna consciousness.
very good. Now you're 21. Okay. 21. That means your age is 21. So 21 times, all right? 7,665 days has gone. Okay? 7,665 days has gone. So your balance days, how much? Minus 255, 2,555, 0. So you have another balance of 17,885 days left. All right. You have a balance days of 17,885 days left.
Yes, Prabhu.
I want you to think like this. Okay. My conversation with Sri Ram, it's going to be education for others. So I want everybody to look at it. Check your own day. How long do you want to live? And they say, okay, you know, Sri Ram, if you stuck in a jam 1 hour a day, 24 days, 1 day of your life gone.
True, Prabhu.
If you're going to sleep 8 hours a day, every 3 days, 1 day of your life gone. If you're going to
True.
eat 1 hour, if your lunch break is 1 hour, 24 days, your 1 day of life gone.
True,
If you're
Prabhu.
going to stuck in front of your phone on WhatsApp, TikTok, or Facebook, you're going to spend 3 hours a day or 4 hours a day, right? Or 5 hours a day. Every 4 days, 1 day, every 5 days, 6 days, 1 day of your life is gone.
True,
So when you
Prabhu.
really look at it, how many days are actually left, right? Say like, for instance, sleep. How many hours you sleep?
I sleep 8 to 10 hours, Prabhu. Not more than that. 8 hours.
This itself so heavy, 9 hours a day in average.
Yeah, Prabhu.
So you eat 1 hour. All right. Example, how long
Yeah,
you
per
bathe?
day. Correct.
How long you bathe?
Prabhu, I bathe. Oh my God.
Huh?
Luckily, Linkesh Prabhu is not here. I bathe for 1 hour, Prabhu, a day.
My God. All right. 1 hour a day. You bathe for 1 hour. All right. You bathe 1 hour. How long social media? How many hours you spend?
Not more than 2 hours, Prabhu.
2 hours. All right. How about watching movie, TV?
TV also 2 hours, Prabhu. Not more than that.
2 hours. Right.
Assignment
Then
3 hours, Prabhu.
what is it?
Assignment. Student 3 hours.
Study 3 hours. All right. Then what else? All right.
Class.
Just look at this. 9, 10, 11, 13, 15, 18 hours gone.
Yeah, Prabhu. Didn't
18 hours
include
gone.
my classes also.
So just imagine you as a student, all right? This thing. How about adults? All right, you have to look up, you have to cook, you have to look after your children, you have to take your children to school, fetch them from school, you have to check on their books. Someone is so you have to check on their books. All right, you have to think about sometimes you quarrel with your husband or spouse, you have to quarrel with your children. Imagine in no time your day has gone. In no time you will see you will get old. In no time the death will come and knock your door. If you live
Oh
up
my
to
God.
70 years, Sri Ram, you are celebrating 70 Deepavali, 70 birthday, 70 Taipusam, 70 Happy New Year. Right? In these 70 years, all right, in these 70 years, you are seeing roughly 17.5 leap years. That means you are seeing 29th February only 17 and a half time. Okay.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Then your this thing, then your marriage will come in, everything, lot of things will come in. All right. And that also, if you're lucky, if you live up to 70. You think you had a long life. but you only have lived up to 7,665 days. If only you have saved 1 ringgit from the day you were born, you only could save 7,665 ringgit. That's all. So when you see, life in this material world is not long.
True, Prabhu.
So you don't have a chance. You don't have a chance. That's why I'm telling you. What I am telling you is this, right? What I'm saying is, dedicate 2 hours of your day to chant, read, and oops, sorry. Where's that word and? Where's and? Oh, okay. And ponder. This is very important. Okay. You have to spend that much of this thing, right? To
Prabhu, what is meaning of ponder?
ponder means you are reflecting your life.
Oh,
Your reflection.
reflecting myself. Okay.
Reflecting. First, that means, in other
I
words,
do it every day, Prabhu. Yes.
no. Wait. Hold on. I'm not talking about you pondering your life. I'm saying
Okay.
dedicate 2 hours every day to chant Hare Krishna. You
Yes,
read
Prabhu.
and you understand what you read. Ponder
Okay.
over it.
Okay.
Dwell on it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So that means, in order for you to dwell, you don't read, you study one by one. Just 2 hours of your day. Every day without fail. And what is the best time to do it? So since you only have 2 hours to dedicate, that this dedication is going to take you back home, back to Goloka Vrindavan. Right? These things going to take you back to eternity. Right? Okay? Spiritual world. Right? It's going to take you to the spiritual world. Okay? This one is going to take you to spiritual world. These 2 hours a day you're going to spend, it's going to take you to spiritual world. So what are the qualifications you need to do? You need to, how you go do it? You have to do it very seriously. Right? You have to do it very seriously. You have to do it very religiously. All right? With full dedication. Okay? With full dedication. Alama. Right? You have to do it with full dedication. All right? And you better do it. So what is the best time? Best time to do it is
Now.
early in the morning.
Oh, okay. Early in the morning. Correct,
Okay?
Prabhu.
Early in the morning is the best. If you can do it very early in the morning, all right, that is called the Mangalarti. That means because this is the time that you have to dedicate, so that these attempt just 2 hours a day, just this little 2 hours a day, by reading and chanting and pondering, all right, will take you to eternity, to spiritual world, despite you are wasting your time with so many other things. But you don't have a choice. All this you have to do. You have to practice. We don't have a choice. Okay. I cannot stay away from social media. I cannot do it. Yeah, fair enough. I can watch my serial drama. Fair enough. But what I'm saying is, dedicate 2 hours a day. Only 2 hours. Only 48, what they call? 120 minutes. That's it. 120 minutes a day. You chant your Hare Krishna Maha Mantra very attentively. Every word. What is that meditation in Hare Krishna Maha Mantra? You don't need to cross your leg. You don't need to think about anything. You don't need to think about, even don't have an altar, is still fair enough. Hold the beats and just simply chant and listen. Hear what you say. That's all. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Listen to what you say, that's all. Then you open a Bhagavad Gita and start to read. 1 verse a day or 1 paragraph a day. Just read. When you read, after you read, don't simply read. Read it and start to ponder over it. What actually Krishna is saying. how can I apply on my life? So how to do that? How to ponder over your life? Make the journal. Make the journal. In my day, this is what happened. Okay, now I got up this thing. I just write a journal. And after that, based on what you have understood from Bhagavad Gita, try to relate back. I'm telling you, some people think, yeah, my life is going to be very boring. No, your life will be very exciting. I'm telling you.
True, Prabhu. I know.
Very
I
exciting.
experienced it. True.
Yeah.
It's actually very fun.
So this is how we should practice our bhakti. Because other than that, we don't have any other better option. All right. So that's the duration of life Prahlad Maharaj was saying. How long do you have? It takes a lifelong practice so that we can remember Krishna at the final breath. Of course, we will understand as we go on in Bhagavad Gita, we will understand all this. So like for instance, Parikshit Maharaj attained perfection in 7 days. All right, he was supposed to die in 7 days, and he attained perfection in 7 days. And Katvanga Maharaj attained in one moment. All right, in one moment of time. He knows that death is coming. He said, okay, time to die is there. Just a second before he died, he just surrendered to Krishna. Krishna, I'm yours. And he got liberated. Right? So like that. So it doesn't take much time. It's all this, okay? So now let's see. How long do we have? That's a question I asked just now. Can we really do Astanga Yoga in the hustle bustle city life? Can we do this kind of yoga? Sit, in all this folded leg and concentrate and all this? No, we can't. With so much of allurement, pim, pom, 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 and some all this billboard and all these things. Like now, if you use iPhone, there's a new upgrade in your iPhone, and the thing looks so attractive. Wow. Even those who are not attractive, what is this iPhone? Like recently I heard a person, my wife's side relation, she bought a phone. He bought a phone for 6,000 ringgit. He bought a phone for 6,000 ringgit. Why? Because he wants to reward himself. That's a statement he told my wife. I want to
Oh my
reward
God.
myself. 6,000. Of course, he's a very successful person. But 6,000 phone, why he's buying so much of expensive? Because sense gratification. He want to enjoy.
Prabhu, if I want to appreciate myself, I only buy 5 ringgit ice cream, Prabhu. In mix
Never
soup.
mind. That also you don't do. Appreciate yourself, you chant Hare Krishna. That's all.
True, Prabhu.
Okay. So, how we can do Bhakti Yoga? You can do it anywhere, anytime, anyone. By anyone, you can do this thing. All right. So, you can do anywhere. Anywhere means what? Anywhere. Including washroom. Including anywhere. You can perform. You can chant Hare Krishna. Anywhere you can do. Anytime. There's no stipulated time. You only can do at this particular time. No, anytime. And it can be done by anyone. No prior qualification. All right. Like this Radha Yatra, anybody can do it. Right. Okay. So this is how the life will become so sublime, so beautiful. That's why, and you feel your sense, everything is like so happy. 633. Now let's see what Krishna says. Arjuna says, Arjuna vacha yo yang yogastvaya prokta samyena madhusudana etasyahang na pashyami chanchalatvat stitim stiram. Chanchalat means what? Like monkey, cannot sit in one place. Arjuna said, oh Madhusudana, the system of yoga which you have summarized appears impractical. Who says? Arjuna, 5,000 years ago, when that time all these, they are so perfect and they're so healthy, they can do that. Even Arjuna says it's not practical. And also he says it's unendurable to me. Arjuna is such a strong man, he can endure anything. He got a strength of what, 10,000 elephants or something like that. He's so strength, so powerful, and yet he says unendurable. I can't take it, because for the mind is restless and unsteady. The mind is restless and unsteady. So when he said that, can we all do it? Think for yourself. So chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavadridam tasyahang nigrahang manye vayur iva sudushkaram. The mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, O Krishna. And to subdue it, I think it's more difficult than controlling the wind. He says, from controlling the wind, it is easy, but to control the mind is not easy. I can even control the wind from blowing, but I can't control my mind from thinking. So let's look at this small portrait here. Sarira. Sarira means body. So this is the 5 horses. These 5 horses are 5 senses. Taste, touch, smell, hear, and sight. This is the 5 senses, or called Indriya. Right? And this Indriya is controlled by the rein. Rein now, then the kudra, the rope that holds the horse is called rein, the rope. So the rein is actually the mind. Okay, manas, mind. And who controls the mind? Buddhi. Buddhi controls the mind. And consciousness, the Atman, is sitting there watching restless. I mean, what they call? Helplessly. So the senses are pulling. The sense says, eye says, hey, there's something beautiful. The ear says, hey, there's some concert is coming. Let's go to A.R. Rahman concert. There's something. Smells, there's something very nice to see, something very nice to touch, something very nice. The thing will be running. Right? But the thing runs, and the manas, the mind is holding the rein, will pull the intelligence along. So that is how we all get entangled. So 635, Krishna says, Sri Bhagavan Vacha Asankshayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigrahang Chalam Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagyena cha grihate. What Krishna says? Lord Krishna says, oh mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult. Yes, Krishna says it's very undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind. To curb the restless mind. But Krishna says this very interesting. But it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment. It is possible. How? By practice and detachment. So how we can practice? Simply by chanting Hare Krishna, you could be able to control your mind. 37. Arjuna Vacha Ayati Shraddhayo Peto Yoga Chalita Manasa Aprapya Yoga Sangsiddhim Kamgatim Krishna Gachati Kachinno Bhaya Vibrattash Chinabram Ivanashyati Apratisto Mahabaho Vimudo Brahmanapati. Arjuna says, oh Krishna, what is the destination of unsuccessful transcendentalists? Who is beginning takes the process of self-realization with faith. Initially they start with faith, but who later disease due to worldly mindedness, and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism. O mighty armed Krishna, does not such a man who is bewildered by the path of transcendence fall away from the both spiritual and material success and perish like a raven cloud with no position in any sphere? So Arjuna is asking, looking at all this method is so tough, and he knows that people cannot sustain it. And he asks, what happened to those people who become unsuccessful? When the unsuccessful come, when they become disease to worldly mindedness, they say, from me sitting at home and sitting here and meditating, I rather go back home and enjoy my life with my family. Right? I can rather. Sometimes when we become a devotee and all, sometimes it's something, I should have just go and try something else. What is so nice about being disciplined? I'm young, so we can get carried away with material happiness. So what happened to them? So he says that that means these are the people who fall away from both spiritual and material success, just perish like a raven cloud. What is raven cloud? When the sun rises, you see the first cloud in the morning is called raven cloud. So when the sun rises, it disappears. All right. So it doesn't have any position in any sphere. That means when you see the cloud up there, of course, it stays in one place. It has a position. But raven cloud will perish when the sun rises. So what happened to these kind of people? Arjuna is asking. So then after that, Krishna replies, Prapya punya kritam lokan ushit vas shashvati sama shuchinam srimatangehe yoga brashto bijayate atava yoginam eva Pule bhavati dhimatam etardi durlabo tarang loke janma yadir trisham. He says, unsuccessful yogi after many years of enjoyment in the planets of the pious living entities. That means those people who are unsuccess in the yoga process, they can at least go to heaven. Even like what we are saying here, if you don't success in your bhakti, you at least will go to heaven. All right. Then after that, he's born into the family of righteous people or family of rich and aristocrat. So that means these people will be born from the family of like Ambani family and all these things. Or righteous people, that means Ambani are very pious people. Of course, they build temple and everything, but they are very rich and aristocrat. You will be taken birth in that kind of family. After, fall down from heaven. You go to heaven. After you leave the body, being an unsuccessful yogi, you go to heaven. You go there, you stay there for 10,000 years. Enjoy nicely. After that, you fall down. And when you fall down, you're born into this kind of family. But you must understand this family is also very materialistic family. But what will happen eventually, after that, born into that family, very rich and aristocrat, then after that, boom, it's gone. You fall down, then you go back to animal kingdom and go back to cycle of transmigration. That's why it's not recommended. All right, like the Sultan and all these people are very rich, filthy rich. You know, all these people are why they're this? Because they all the heavenly denizens. But at the same time, if he's unsuccessful after a long practice of yoga, after the person practiced yoga very long, he's been practicing yoga very firmly, but he failed. He failed to curb his mind, but he's very sincere. He tried his best. So these kind of people, what will happen? He takes his birth in the family of transcendentalists. That means they take birth in the family of a devotee who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly such a birth is rare in this world. So that means for a child to be born in the family of a devotee, it is very rare. So when a child born in the family of devotee, we should know these are the people who tried the best in the yoga system but failed. Similarly, when we go to practice Hare Krishna, I say, okay, you don't make it back home, back to God. It still is okay. Still, you'll be born in the family of this kind of righteous family. And from there, you're going to continue your bhakti and eventually you're going to get liberated. 45. Prayatnat yatamanastu yogi shangshuddha kilbisha aneka janma shangshiddas tato yati parangatim. And when the yogi engage himself with sincere endeavor and making further progress, being washed of all contamination, then ultimately achieving perfection, after many, many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal. So what happened to the yogi? So that means when the yogi engage himself with sincere endeavor, right, he make further progress, all right, and of course, the contamination is washed step by step, then ultimately achieving perfection. When they achieve perfection after many, many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal, right? So that means what? But when we start to practice this yoga, bhakti yoga, even we fail, we're going to continue where we stopped. From there, we're going to go on until we achieve perfection. But the guarantee is there, you're going to continue where you stopped. Compared to those who have not taken this effort at all. 47. Yoginam api sarvesham matkate nantar atmana shraddhavan bhajate yomang same yukta tamo mata. 47. See what Krishna says. And of all yogis, now let's look at this very carefully. The one with great faith, the yogis who have great faith, who always abides in me, that means always think of Krishna, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. So now Krishna ends this chapter by declaring all this yoga system, all these things. Yeah, Arjuna also says very tough. Yeah, Krishna says yes, correct. After many, many practice, you can be perfect and all these things, you know, then you fail. If you become a yogi, you fall halfway, you go to heaven, enjoy yourself, then come back. You're born into the family of rich and aristocrat, like royal family, rich family. But if you really sincerely follow, then you're born into the family of devotee, which is very rare. So all these things, now ultimately is coming and saying this thing, that of all yogis, yoginam api sarvesham, api sarve, all kind of yogis, sarva means all. Mat gate nantar atmana, the one with great faith, who always abides in me, think of me within himself and renders transcendental loving service to me. That means when we start to serve Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna, by reading Bhagavad Gita, we are rendering our loving service to Krishna. And he says, he is the most intimately united in me in yoga. That means this is the perfect yoga. The perfect way to be with me is this. And is the highest of all. And is the topmost. Is better than sitting in the jungle and forest and all this meditation. Is that better? And see, that is my opinion. And tomorrow, chapter 7, we're going to continue from this verse. So let's look at a yoga ladder. Right? So now, we have this yoga ladder. In this yoga ladder, what we see here is, right? Okay. First step is karma yoga. Then slowly we evolve to jnana yoga. That means first what we do? We do work without attachment. All right. We do work without attachment. We dedicate everything to Krishna. And how to understand that? Jnana, intelligent knowledge. You start to gain knowledge. Then after you start to know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality, you start to meditate upon him, dhyana. All right. You start to meditate upon dhyana. So when you start to meditate upon dhyana, that means you do dhyana. You meditate upon Krishna because you know Krishna is ultimate truth. Then after that, after dhyana, then you perfect your dhyana. Then you realize that what Krishna says in 47, the one who abides in me, the one who engages in me, the one who always serve me with love is the topmost. Then we understand that from dhyana, we go to bhakti. Bhakti is the last ultimate perfection. All right. But here in Bhagavad Gita, actually, what is that idea is, why not from karma, you straight away jump to bhakti. No need to go through this jnana. No need to go through this dhyana. From karma yoga, that means activity offering to Krishna. From there, you straight away jump into bhakti yoga by passing through this jnana and dhyana. So is it the right thing to do? Is it right thing to do by overcoming these two things? Is it the right thing to do? You will understand in chapter 7. All right. In chapter 7, we will discuss, is it the right thing or is it okay to be like this? All right. So that's the thing. So order your Gita kit today. It's not 56, it's 50 ringgit. Of course, these two books are not available. I give you one Bhagavad Gita, one set of chanting back and beats, and also this Damodara mini altar. All these three things for 50 ringgit, including shipping. Postage free. Postage is free. All this included. All right. So with that, we end the session here. So is there any questions, any comment? Okay, first of all, did you all understand?
Yes, Prabhu, understood.
Very good. Any questions?
No
So now-
question, Prabhu, but I have a thought about the stair that you show, the staircase.
Okay.
First was Karma Yoga, and then Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga, right? So I feel in next chapter, I feel, I'm not sure, we don't know yet, but I feel it is not wrong to jump because of experiencing him is not same for everyone. Like some people love him like unconditionally. Some people will become his seva. They will do seva to him and love him. So even in bhakti, we can look up to him in 5 different ways, like you told before, right, Prabhu?
Yeah.
So if I myself, I'm looking to him like a brother. So everyone have their own way of looking to him. So I feel bhak- bhakti, serving bhakti also is not a same, would not be a same experience for everyone. There will be
Definitely.
something different.
Definitely.
So that's why I feel it is not wrong to jump. But let's see what we will learn in
No,
chapter.
it's not wrong to jump, but of course, from Taiping to Ipoh, if you take old road, it's going to take you 4 hours.
Yeah, Prabhu.
If you take highway, how many hours?
2 hours, not even 2 hours, Prabhu.
So which is better now? Highway or old road?
Highway, Prabhu.
That's the thing. So now I'm going to show you highway in chapter 7.
Okay, Prabhu.
And what you have said is really correct. I'm very happy that you came to that realization. That means, I think we have discussed this in chapter 2, if I'm not mistaken, that every one of us are individual soul. We are individual here and we remain individual even we go back home, back to Godhead. And your experience with Krishna and my experience with Krishna is totally different. The biggest mistake that people will do when they start to generalize. So in other words, our realization and our perception with Krishna is very authentic, unique, and it's original. Okay, like for instance, you feel Krishna is like your brother. That is very authentic, right? Some say Krishna is my friend. Some say Krishna is my lover. Even Kamsa Kamsa indirectly worship Krishna. Even Ravana indirectly worship Ram in the form of enemy. Every day is thinking about Krishna. Oh, my enemy Krishna, how am I supposed to kill you? Oh, my enemy Krishna. Oh, my enemy Rama, how am I going to kill you? Oh, my enemy Rama. Ravana thought the same thing.
And they also always chant Prabhu.
So, even as an enemy, of course, that's not recommended. Okay, it's not recommended that we worship Krishna as enemy. Okay, it's not recommended at all. So, being authentic, being original, right, that you have a specific relationship with Krishna. But the thing is, most important is the specific relationship has to be revived. Okay, now maybe you get a vague idea. You got a rough idea only. This is how it's going to look like. When you fall in love with someone, you have to understand that someone. You have to go deep into that meditation. You need to get to know what the person likes, what the person dislikes. How can I serve him? Which way of serving him that he loves the most? That's when the Shastra will come in. All right. Now we are talking about Bhagavad Gita. Then we have also have a book on Ishopanishad, Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. All these books are describing how that we can engage ourselves in order in the way that has been recommended by the parampara, by the gurus. It is not by our own speculation. The gurus and the parampara, the teachers, the preceptors have already taught us this is the way that he liked to be served. Especially in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says he wants to be served in this way. We will study as we go on in Bhagavad Gita. I don't want to jump the gun now because then you feel that there's no kick. At the end, you'll start to see Krishna will be declaring so many things. All right. But other than that, we have to engage our mind, our intelligence. So first step, chant Hare Krishna, read Bhagavad Gita and distribute Bhagavad Gita. Try and see. That's when your original consciousness, your original there's Swarupa Siddhi. Remember? I think were you there when we talk about Swarupa Siddhi? Your original self can be realized. Right? Until then, whatever feeling that we have, it can be speculation. But of course, it's better for us to have that desire. Because human without desire is not human at all. Right? We have desire, that's why we are in this world. We have desire, that's why we are living the life. You have a desire, that's why you're taking that kind of course. You're accounting. Right? One day you'll have a desire and you'll get a wife according to your desire. And you're going to have a child according to your desire. Everything is happening according to the desire. To be desirous is a human nature. So what we are actually telling you now, why not you just add on desire to attain Krishna? Even you want to go back home, back to Godhead, it's also a desire. You want to do this kind of courses like Bhakti Sastri, you want to achieve some kind of this thing. You want to serve Krishna, it's also a desire. So what we are doing is we spiritualizing everything by acting. That means the food that you eat is spiritualized, your activity is spiritualized, your work you spiritualize, everything is getting spiritual by dedicating to Krishna. At the same time, you also have a desire to serve Krishna. Right? So desire. So, and of course, as you said, we are all authentic, we are original. All right. And what you feel and what others feel can be different. Very nice realization, Sri Ram. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So, anyone else? Okay. If there's no one, okay, then we'll end our session here. We continue tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. same time. We discuss on chapter 7. It's going to be very interesting because the first 6 chapter, the second 6 chapter, and the third 6 chapter. That means the Gita is divided into 3. So tomorrow, the 7th to 12th is going to be the confidential part of Krishna. Confidential. We're going to speak about confidential part. So I hope that you all be on time so we can discuss that. All right. So till then, have a wonderful, beautiful day. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyacha kripa sindhubhyacha paditanam pavinibhyo vaishnavibhyo namo. Hare Krishna. Good night. Have a beautiful day.
Hare Krishna. Good night, Prabhu.
Hari
Hare
Hari Bol.
Krishna, everyone.
Gauranga.